gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio with your hosts, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Peña, the always opinionated Paris Lily, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 1295. This is your host, Danny Peña, and we have a special bonus episode for you guys. This is a podcast exclusive. I just finished recording an interview all about Bomb Rush Cyberfunk that is coming out actually August 18th for the Nintendo Switch and PC. And during this interview, I found out this is also coming out for PlayStation and also Xbox sometime in September. And I interviewed the founder of the company, Team Reptile Games, Dion, and we had a great conversation. I'm talking about everything about the game, the behind the scenes, Jet Set Radio, the soundtrack, hip hop elements, all kinds of stuff. And you guys are gonna enjoy this so much. It's a really good interview. And actually, he is a breakdancer. So in the game, you might see some of the characters that have their breakdancing. That's actually his moves that they motion captured. And they also worked with other b-boy breakdancers. They're also involved in this game too. And there's a lot of cool stuff. You guys are gonna love it, this interview. But it was awesome. I can't wait to play this game. Again, this game is coming out August 18th for Nintendo Switch and Steam. Now, this game is also verified for Steam Deck. So for those that have that, you could play that in there too, man. So, all right. So we're going to play the interview. But first, head over to gamertagradio.com. You can listen to our past episodes. Also, you can find us on any podcast app. All you have to do is just search for Gamertag Radio. Search, subscribe, follow us, and also, and please, this would be very helpful, and it would just take a few seconds of your time. Post a review. All right, now, if you would like to be part of our family discussion, which we need questions from you, the fans. You want us to have different conversations about all different topics? It's up to you. Send us questions or feedback. And here's how you could contact us.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, so before we play this interview, I just want to thank the whole team at Team Reptile Games for giving me this opportunity because look, I've been anticipating this game for a very long time. And this is, besides Alan Wake 2 and Starfield and a couple other games, this is also up there as one of my most anticipated games of 2023. And because I'm a huge fan of Jet Set Radio, I actually posted a video of just different trailers that have been releasing throughout the years. And I put it up on Twitter, and that video has already over 2 million views because people are excited for this game. Very excited. And I can't wait to play the actual final product in just a couple of days, man. So we're going to play this into right now, and please let me know your thoughts, feedback. Let me know your thoughts about all this. And yeah, I probably will read it maybe on a future episode of GTR, man. So listen to it, and we'll be right back after this.
This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
No, Dion. So, and I'm gonna go back, Dion. now I know that you guys are releasing this game now in a couple of days, man. Tell us a little bit about the story, because I don't know anything. I've just been going in, just seeing the trailers of the game, and I just wanted to learn more about it once I get the hands on with the game, right? So tell us about the characters and the story about the game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So how it started is that I like to draw characters in my free time anyway, and so I will occasionally draw something up and really work it out. And then when I'm making a game, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll grab this character or that character that I've already drawn and give them this role in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the story for this game started. I drew a couple of characters that had a cyber element to them, and I had this character who had, instead of a robot arm, he had a robot head. And just visually exploring this character, I suddenly started thinking, like, wait a minute, where is this head coming from? Why has he got a robot head? That sounds like a story to me. Where his human head must be somewhere, and what happened to him? So that's how that story started, and I thought that was the most interesting thing I could come up with, to have a protagonist who loses his head at the start of the game, and you have to go and find out what's up with that, who you were, or if it really matters who you were.
Yeah, and also, how big is the location in the game? It's the New Amsterdam, right? That's what it's called.
New Amsterdam, yeah.
New Amsterdam. Okay, yeah. So how big is the world?
Okay, we got 5 big main areas.
Mm-hmm.
We got the hideout where you can learn some new tricks at ease, and there's a hub area that's called Millennium Square.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it's more like a central place, like a Hyrule field of people playing Zelda, of course, know about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got like mega structures, like a pyramid island, and a giant mall. I don't know like the square meters.
No, it's all good. But I mean, it looks big. Like I'm saying, because you could also play multiplayer too. It's not just one player, right?
Oh no, it is one player.
Oh, it is one player. Okay, because I seen
Yeah.
multiple characters. So I'm like, oh wait, so this is multiplayer, So
Yeah, you might think that, but what it is that you're with this crew, and this crew actually goes along with you.
Yeah.
And they give some tips to you, and they send you messages to your flip phone, and you can check like, oh, what's up? What do I need to do now? And stuff like that. So you do have some like feeling of being together, and they're riding around doing tricks, doing graffiti occasionally, and you're just hanging out with them. Yeah, we thought it when we tried our first adventure in this world that we would do it single player focus. But I have to say that we're not done with this style of game. I really want to do more. So who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I just love the style, love just everything about the game. But I'm gonna go back and ask you the same questions from before, because I don't know if we got recorded now. But
No, cool.
So let's talk about the dancing in the game and everything. I know you've been b-boying, because a lot of people don't know about this. Dion is a long time breakdancer, because I'm a huge hip hop head, right? So I go back from like Wild Style, Beat Street, all that's from back then, right? So and also I worked with a lot of hip hop artists in the past, like Keras One and many names, right? So when I saw your video on Instagram that you were breakdance, I'm like, yo, you know what? I just love that Dion and the team is adding hip hop elements in the game, man. Very, very big fan of that, man. So how was the process of dancing? I know you motion capture yourself, but also you had other people that were involved too in dancing. So how that came about?
Yes. So I have to say that myself, I've been b-boying for more than 20 years. Started when I was like 13 or something. And it's been a big part of me, and it's been my entry into hip hop and street culture world. So while I was learning how to make games, I was still dancing, and I'm still dancing to this day. So it was all just like a match made in heaven that I could finally combine these two worlds of mine into one thing and provide like actual dance to the game. I've got a few other dancers in there from the scene here in the Netherlands. B-boys mostly, but we also have house dance, we have popping, locking, all of that. So and my dance teachers, they really gave us also the history behind hip hop, behind the whole thing. So KRS One, you mentioned, like 5 element stuff. That's all. It's all in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
that's
myself. I'm not like, I wasn't alive during like the wild style.
Yeah. I mean, that was before my time. So,
okay. Yeah. But still, I mean, I've seen this stuff, and it has such a big impact on me. And I even put like my old dance teacher as a kind of a character in the game, where there's old heads. They're around and they're like talking about like all you youngins, they don't understand. They weren't there, and but they do give you tips, and they do give you tidbits on how the world of New Amsterdam came to be.
Yeah, you know what, Dion, and you probably wasn't even thinking about this, man. But your game has actually come out the same year as the 50th anniversary of hip hop, man. You know that's pretty dope. Seeing that. Really, really dope.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So adding, because here's the thing, as a fan of games, there's not that many games that has the elements of hip hop, like when breakdancing. You might see like graffiti here and there and dancing once in a while, right? And music, really, really random. But to have everything in one game, I think it's going to be very, very special. As a fan of hip hop, I think I'm going to really enjoy this a lot, man. So thank you for doing that, man.
Yeah. No problem. I couldn't do otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about the other elements of hip hop, man. Graffiti. So how that came about, man. Are you an artist too? Because I don't know. You've been surprising me a lot. So
I actually have graffiti in the game as well. Yeah,
really? Okay.
Quite a lot of pieces. Yeah.
So that's cool. So how was the process of having original graffiti artists in the game too, and also fan, right?
Yes, indeed. So we started out with a couple of artists I really wanted to feature. One of them was Zeds here in the Netherlands, who has this like really technical robot-like style, and it really fit with our robot b-boy crew that we had in the game. So I reached out to a couple of others who had good styles. We had a Japanese graffiti artist who really fit with a gang that had more graffiti, more like demon-like graffiti stuff going on. So we had those, but then also we saw that so many graffiti writers were also hyped for the game, and we decided to do a competition and let people in, let their work be featured in the game. And that was so surprising. That was so crazy to see more than 1,200 people send in their stuff. I had to go through so many pieces, but a surprising amount of people actually being like super authentic and rocking like really good styles. So we had to put in a lot of those as well.
Yeah. So how the name came about, man? Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Was that something that came about later, or this was like, okay, this is the name of the game, now let's work on it? How was that process too?
Yeah. So it took a bit. We code-named the project more like Street Adventure. And it's this idea that you can do fantasy stuff with street culture and hip hop. You can still project it into the future and make a fiction. I thought that was something that was missing, and I really wanted to do that. But we had that, but no name for it for a while. So I was playing around with it. And Bomb Rush, well, bombing, of course, is a graffiti term. A lot of people don't know, but bombing, doing a lot of graffiti. And I always liked the term of that, so I was playing around with that. And then there's also bomb rushing, so not bomb but bum, as in a bum, a person. Bomb rushing is a thing that you would do, what they would do in New York or lots of other places to get into places, to go into a concert without a ticket. You would, of course, rush the entrance, and as some of you would bound to get in. Heard some stories on of Futura. Actually, I spoke to Futura. Unfortunately, could not feature him in the game, but he spoke to me about bomb rushing as well and how he was there and everything. So I knew about that, and I thought let's play with that. Let's do bombing and then do bomb rush, and to have both of these like a little pun. And then cyberfunk. I mean, at the time, also cyberpunk was a lot of was getting a lot of hype. And I dig the future stuff, but I'm not into punk, not into rock per se. And I thought like, no, I'm way more into funk. And then of course that where it came in, like cyberfunk, and it really stands for a lot of stuff that we do of combining technology and street culture.
Sure.
Cyberfunk, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now let's talk about the soundtrack, man. So, do you have the original? Have you even tried to get the original composers from Jet Set Radio? Because I know people are going to be asking that. Oh, this is like straight up 100% you guys working with other artists and just influenced by that soundtrack.
Yeah. So, what the approach was for me mostly was getting danceable music and getting stuff that fitted with our cyberfunk theme, where we had, some kind of technology, some kind of digital side to most things, and then still have authenticity in the funk and have some hip hop, some future hip hop and stuff like that. And what I liked to do eventually was to go look at the dance styles that the crews are doing. So we have popping, those are the Franks, and popping is something you do on electro funk. So that's already like a cyberfunk thing, right? It's got a spacey vibe to it, but it's still really funky. So Zap and Roger kind of stuff. And we have locking, which is more like pure 70s funk, and but also hip hop and breaking. So coming in with a few breaks as well. But we also felt like I'm a personally big fan of Hideki. Even Hideki Naganuma, like the composer of the Jet Set Radio games, even beyond just those games, just in general, his style is really funky. It actually matches this idea of cyberfunk. So we didn't ask him to make Jet Set Radio music. I just tried to like push him, like, just do that thing, do your thing.
That special producing, add some break beats in there, that type of thing. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I think we were able to come up with some crazy stuff that is cyberfunk, and it goes beyond what he made before.
So it's only one track, or he worked on a couple tracks?
We have 3 tracks.
Three. Look at that. 3 exclusives. 3 exclusive tracks.
That's right. Yeah.
Dope, man. And I know people are always going to compare this to Jet Set Radio, how do you feel about that? Like, just people saying, "Oh man, this is the next Jet Set," or
Yeah, we're riding that wave anyway.
Sure.
It's clear that it's inspiration, but it was never an intention of us to make a spiritual successor or a remake or that kind of stuff. But I'm not gonna tell people like, "Oh, you're supposed to enjoy it in this way," right? So
sure,
that's up to people themselves. And I just try to like channel and express what my interests are and what I find dope. But it's coming from a genuine place that I was already doing skating, graffiti, and dancing before I even played Jet Set Radio. And I feel like that maybe subconsciously people are understanding that or feeling that, and maybe that's why they're so into it. But you get to hear it a lot, but I don't mind.
You don't mind? Yeah. Were there other games that also influenced you to work on this game besides that game?
Absolutely. I mean, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, to name a big one. We've got not only inline skating, we got skateboarding, and we got BMX in the game. And some of the mechanics of the trick system, they play into that. And I should say that actually doing combos and getting high scores is a big part of the game. And of course, this wasn't the case with Jet Set Radio at all. But we have, like, you can lean in on the grinds. You can do special tricks. You can do you can switch off your skateboard and go by foot and do some like flips there, etc. And eventually, that's how you battle the other crews. It's with the tricks, and then you have the old heads judging you.
Yeah, and which of the crews do you think I should be on the lookout for? They're very tough in this game.
Ooh, I think people usually get like surprised by the Eclipse crew. That's the second crew you meet.
Okay.
Which is a bunch of ladies. They're really into astrology, and they dance house dance, and they've got a few challenges that might be a little tricky for people. Yeah, because it's a whole new way of looking at trick games, as I like to call them. It's the system is not like Tony Hawk, because you don't bail, you don't fall, but you still have to get multipliers on your score, and the way we set that up is that you have to go through the whole stage and hit these points. Well, you'll see in the game what I mean. But the thing is that oftentimes in these games, you find one great spot and then you get all your points, right? For the duration of the match or whatever it is. But I really wanted to get people to explore the whole thing. So you get multipliers on your score by going around and touching different spots in the stage. So you'll find yourself going through the whole stage, trying to get the highest score.
Yeah, you know, I'm this is something that personally for me, I love listening to music, right, soundtrack and everything like that. So a couple of things. So in the game, is it like just randomly just play shuffle audio like tracks, or can you decide which tracks you want to listen to, or can I even pause the game and just listen to the whole soundtrack, just listen to the music? Can I do that in the game or no?
So how you start is you get a flip phone.
Okay.
Once you like go out into the world and have a bit more freedom, you get a flip phone, and on that flip phone, a mixtape is playing.
Okay, mixtape with a DJ. With DJ talking to, or no, or just music?
It's just music.
Okay.
It's just music. This one, yeah. But this is how we used to always, back in the days, still like early internet days, download a mixtape and then put that on, and you kind of want to know all the tracks that are in there. They're kind of hard, but what we do is we have this mixtape, and you can find the individual tracks that are in the mixtape. You can find them in the stage that this mixtape is playing. And every time you advance to the next chapter in the story, a new mixtape will be loaded into your phone, and the old mixtape will be gone. But you can still find the individual tracks. You've got like a MP3 player on your phone, so you'll be able to play any music at any time, but you do have to find them first, and they're spread out across the stages.
Oh, I like that concept. That's pretty cool. It's very different. Very, very dope. Yeah. So, are we gonna? I don't know. You guys plan to release this on like Spotify, Apple Music, the soundtrack, or no?
So what the soundtrack is like a collection of real music. Most of it is not made for the game or any game, and it's just music that's already released, music that's newly released. And it's just like danceable, and these artists, they're DJs, they're spitting these things in the club. So what we say is like, okay, you guys handle that. You guys can handle the streaming that you're already used to doing anyway, and we'll just handle the stuff that's in the game. But we are releasing a soundtrack, official soundtrack. We've got 32 tracks in the game. We got some crazy names in there, aside from Hideki Naganuma. We've got Knowledge from Anderson Park, No Worries Collective. And we've got Tom McLennan from Barkhampton providing track and even voice. We've got Sebastian Knight, who makes like really dope house and UK garage tracks. There's loads more, and it comes from a lot of corners from the world.
Yeah. So how long you guys been working on this game, man? It sounds like this has been like a very long project for you and the team, right?
Yes, but we are kind of used to this. It's about 3.5 years now, I think, but we could be reaching 4 if you count the prototype phase. But we went back and forth with our last game because that needed a lot of support. Being a fighting game, you have to provide balance patches, you have to tweak things every once in a while. But so we went back and forth a bit, but I would say 3.5 years. And what you know is that you really have to at some point just put yourself to finishing the thing and not think of anything new. So by this time, I'm kind of, I want to make new things.
Yeah. Hey, I get it. I totally get it, man. But I mean, it's exciting seeing the reaction from the gamers online. Like, people are very hype for this, man. Like, are you guys nervous? Because that's something. Because I know it is working on something for a very long time. You're like, oh, you let it out for the first time to the crowd, and it's like you don't know what's gonna happen. So.
Yeah. I'm excited, and I feel like it's gonna be great. I'm not that nervous, because I feel like this is it's from the heart anyway, and
sure.
It doesn't matter too much what people think about it. I always compare it to dancing. If you're dancing by yourself in your home, there's no, what if somebody saw that and like, oh, you're not dancing in an interesting way. Like that doesn't matter. It's not about that. And when we try to approach it in that way, where we do our expression, we drop shit and like let the people decide. So I'm not like, don't even feel like really responsible, aside from, when it's clearly broken, then we'll go in and fix it. But like, I feel like it has to live its own life now, and we've done the best we can for the time we had.
No, I applaud you for that, man. That's dope to hear, man. Dope to hear. So, and I know this game is coming out for the PC and Nintendo Switch. Are there going to be any major differences between the two games? And also, how was it, seeing your trailer being played during Nintendo Direct? That was pretty cool. I was not expecting that at all.
Oh yeah. So I'll tell you right now, actually. So there's the PC and Switch release, which is 18 in August, but also PlayStation 4 and 5 and Xbox is coming up.
Oh,
it's September 1. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
Not much later.
Oh, yeah. That's very, very soon. Awesome.
And the way that's set up like that is that we found that loads of people who are into our stuff, they're on Nintendo Switch. It's colorful, it's playful, and so a lot of people owning a Nintendo Switch, we thought would be into that. So we went ahead and made this thing with Nintendo that we would release a little bit earlier on their platform, and then they could feature us a bit more in, for example, Nintendo Direct, and that was fun. Yeah, for sure. I love that. What you have with Nintendo is that they've got so many like languages supported. So people from Italy, people from the Middle East, and everywhere they're tuning in, and these things are localized enough that they can actually see what's coming up, and we don't have that reach by ourselves, right? We just have the English and Dutch speaking world. Yeah.
Oh, dope, man. And man, I didn't know that was coming up for PlayStation and Xbox, so that's awesome. I'm definitely gonna buy those too to support, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I definitely gotta do that, man. I know we only have like a few minutes left, man, but now that you've been working this for a very long time, man, as an independent developer, what advice you would give to those developers that they have a project, a passionate project they want to work on, and just any advice about starting developing?
I mean, people ask me this sometimes, and the first thing I ask, the counter to that is like, what do you want? What is your goal? Do you want to make little artful pieces? Do you want to live off of this? And the whole mentality of approaching doing that is completely different. But if I'm gonna presume that people would ask if they want to do something similar to us, then I would say that like you're gonna have to work twice as hard to make it work compared to working at it, for somebody else. So you're gonna have that mentality in there and think like, okay, 200%, so I can make my own stuff and live off of it. That's one thing. And then the other is that I believe we should be bringing something in from outside of video games and anime and internet culture, because that's all like going on, and that kind of stuff is covered. We've seen like loads of games upon games, stories upon same kind of stories, but I feel like we have this little monopoly going on now, not by choice, but we're bringing in stuff that isn't like represented a lot in this world, in the games industry. And I think if you have something outside of it, something of your own, and bring it in loud, then you can actually, blow that trumpet and make some noise.
Yeah. Now, and I forgot about this question, man. Is this game also Steam Deck verified?
Oh yes, yeah. We've been just today we're playing it on Steam Deck. Yeah,
awesome, because I have a Steam Deck too, so I'm like, I'm gonna be traveling, so I gotta get this with me. Now I don't want to wait.
Quite nice. Yeah,
dope. That's really cool, man. Hey, Dion, I just want to say, man, thank you so much for taking your time to be on the show and everything, and I'm very excited to try this out. I'm like super pumped. This is like one of my most anticipated games, man. Like I put it up there with a couple other games, so. I'm very excited to try this out, man. And congratulations to you and the team, man, on finally releasing this project, man, to the world.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, and keep on b-boying, man. Love that.
I will.
Awesome, man. All right, thanks a lot.
is Gamertag Radio.
All right, guys, and that was my interview with Dion. Shout out to him, man. Great conversation all about Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Amazing interview, man. So, all right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up here. Now, I have another interview coming up, and I'm going to play that actually tomorrow. It's another bonus episode. You don't want to miss this. This is a pretty good interview. So, be on the lookout for it. It's coming out tomorrow. So that's 3 back-to-back episodes only on Gamertag Radio. And this one is a podcast exclusive. Just want to throw it out there. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for listening. And see you next time here only on GTR.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.